हेलो फ्रेंड्स, केजी क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है। आज हम आपको वुमेन इन न्यू इंडिया ऐसे के बारे में बताएंगे। हेडिंग इंट्रोडक्शन फर्स्ट, सेकंड वीमेंस पोजीशन इन फ्री इंडिया, फर्स्ट इन द पॉलिटिकल फील्ड, सेकंड इन द मेडिकल फील्ड, थर्ड इन द फील्ड ऑफ एजुकेशन, थर्ड अदर चैलेंजिंग कैरियर्स फॉर कंक्लूजन। इन एंशिएंट टाइम्स women had an honorable position in the society. They were equal partners of men in every field of life. Sita, Savitri, Gargi and Ansuya are the pillars of Indian womanhood. During the Muslim rule, women lost their position of honor and right of equality. They were kept within the four walls of the house. During the British rule, their position remained unchanged. A great change has come in the position of women after Indian independence. Our constitution has given equal right to women in all fields of life. They have been given equal voting rights with men. They now enjoy a place of honor in society. Today, women are successfully playing their role as teacher, doctor, engineer, lawyer, administrators, politicians and social workers. In the political field, women are playing their role successfully. A few years ago, late Mrs. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India. She was a leader of world fame. Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit occupied the chair of President of our United Nations Organization. Mrs. Vijaya Raje Scindia was the Vice President of Bharatiya Janata Party. Now there are so many women who are members of parliament and members of legislative assemblies. In the medical field, women have proved their ability, skill and proficiency. There are many women who are physicians, surgeons and medical experts. They are working as doctors and nurses in several important hospitals, both in India and outside. In the field of education, women are doing service in a large number. Women are considered better teachers for little children. Some of them are heads of the educational institution, professors and lecturers in colleges and teachers in schools. Today, women are adopting other challenging career too. They are police officer, army officers, pilot and air hostess. Mrs. Kiran Bedi is a successful police officer. How can we forget the name of Kalpana Chawla, an American astronaut of Indian origin? She was the first Indian woman who was selected in NASA. She died in the Columbia Space Shuttle disaster in 2003. The career of telephone operator, TV announcer, typist, receptionist and secretaries are nearly reserved for them. Besides these jobs, some of them are managing vast business of their own. If we have a look on the other side of women's position in New India, we find that except a few successful and strong women in general state, their position is not sound. In homes and outside homes, their exploitation is continuing. Even in big cities, cases of rape, molestation, discrepancy, torture etc. are increasing day by day. At working places, many times they are very insecure. She is no longer confined within the four walls of the house. She is on the way of progress. Her future is lovesome and bright. Society needs to change its outlook towards women. They should be respected and cooperated. People should realize that women too have desires and feelings, hence they should be provided time and resources enough to fulfill their ambitions. Next है qualities of a good teacher leader. Heading है introduction. Second, qualities: A, character; B, strong will; C, bold and self-sacrificing; D, sincere and hardworking; E, reformer; F, economic; and third, conclusion. India is the biggest democratic country in the world. Democracy is the government of the people, for people, and by people, by the people. It is undoubtedly a good system of government. In a democratic state, the whole power lies in the people. They are the real rulers because of their voting power. They control the government through their representatives. The fate of the country depends on good political leaders. It is rightly said that if money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. If character is lost, everything is lost. There are certain qualities which a good leader must possess. A good leader must be honest, simple, hardworking, bold, and selfless. He should love his country. He must be a man of good character. Character is the most important position of a good leader. If he is a man of loose character, he cannot influence the public. He must be honest, upright, and truthful. He should set an example before others. A good leader is he who fulfills all his promises made to the public. He should not make false promises, otherwise the public will lose its confidence in him. A good leader should be selfless and must be prepared to make even the greatest sacrifice for his country. He should not work only for the benefit of his own self, but he should work for the welfare of the whole society and country. Selfish and bad leaders can do great harm to the people and their country. A good leader should be a man of strong will. He should be bold enough to face an adverse situation. He must be a good speaker. Only a good speaker can impress the people. He should ask the pupils to do only those things which he himself can do. There should be no difference between his principles and practice. He must say what he means and mean what he does. He must be a good reformer. He should try to remove the prevailing social evils. Today, leaders are leading very luxurious life. The money they spend so lavishly in the money of the public, it is not their own hands. They should not waste public money for their personal use. Leaders are there to make public welfare, not to exploit them. In this way, we find that a good leader plays an important role in social, political, economic, and religious life of nation. There is a dearth of good leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Tilak, Nehru, Sardar Patel, and Indira Gandhi at present. Next है a dowry system और dowry dash a curse of our society. Heading है introduction. Second, dowry in the past and the present. Third, evils for awakening against it. Fifth, conclusion. The money, goods or estate which a woman bring to her husband in marriage is dowry. ये वेबस्टर के अनुसार है. The dowry system is a curse for the society. It is really a blot on our society. The evil of dowry is a deep-rooted one. The system has made the condition of women in Indian society very miserable. Unless their system is abolished, Indian society can make no progress. The dowry system is not new for India. It is a very old system. It was also present in the days of Mahatma Gautam Buddha and Mahavir. But in those days where there was no compulsion, the parents blindly gave presents ornaments and money to her daughters at the time of their marriage. But in modern times, this system has taken a very ugly shape. It has now become a compulsion. It is now demanded and settled after a hard bargain. The boys are now sold in the open market on the highest price. The parents have to purchase them for their daughters, even if the girl is equally or highly qualified and career girl. Still, boys' parents in terms of dowry demand what they have spent on their son's education, career, business, etc. When parents are unable to meet dowry demand, their daughters are compelled to accept unmatched marriage. As a result of this system, many young boys commit suicide. This system has made the lives of poor parents of girls miserable. If they are unable to arrange a rich dowry, they find it difficult or rather impossible to marry their daughters to suitable young boys. Thousands of poor girls are compelled to pass unmarried life on account of this evil. The birth of a daughter in the house becomes a case of great worry for the parents. Their lives become miserable. Sometimes they have to take loans and remain in debt throughout their lives. Some parents earn money by immoral means for the marriage of their daughters. Some parents are compelled to give their daughters in marriage to old men or widower. Brides who do not bring rich dowry with them are ill-treated. They are insulted and beaten and sometimes even killed. There is an awakening in the society against the dowry system now. It has drawn the attention of the government. Anti-Dowry Act was passed in 1961, but it could not bring any marriage change in the society. During the emergency, the government again showed deep interest in rooting out this evil. Many state governments passed Dowry Act. Now public meetings are often held in towns and cities to consider ways and means of checking this evil. The youth should oppose the direct and indirect ways of offering and accepting dowry. Anti-Dowry Act, which was passed to check the evil, is now being misused by many girls. In many cases, it has been found that after marriage, girls use this Anti-Dowry Act as a means of blackmailing their in-laws for not fulfilling all their unreasonable demands. Hence, there is need to make some amendments in the Act and to investigate anti-dowry cases seriously. In short, no law will be able to abolish this menace. It is a social problem and can be fought on the social level alone. Thanks, best of luck.